and pretty. So I hope you've taken time to look at them as well.
The words fit in with all the things that people have been talking about in the poems.
Yes.
And thank goodness they also fit in with the songs we're doing. We're half of a quartet called the Ravelberries. And we're very pleased. We've just recorded our second album. It's not actually in form yet, it's still digital. It's out there in the ether, but we're very pleased with that. And one of the songs that we all sang during the sing-along, the song on Clackwood Sound, was one that my previous group, the Virgo Rising, used to do. So it was really lovely to hear it again. It was really nice to hear it again. With that. So, something thoughtful or something rocky to start with?
Rocky.
Sure. Connection breakdown here. The temperature keeps changing because people keep breathing, which is a good thing.
No, that was fiddling trying to get it out of the case.
No.
What are we doing? Loading shake.
For the last 4 weekends, I guess, 4 Saturdays, we've been accompanying other members of Kaya, the people working on against Israeli apartheid. Been outside London drugs, various London drugs around town. They're selling products. A whole number of companies in town, stores in town, sell products from Israel. This particular product that we are focusing on is SodaStream. That's where you take flavor and water and it carbonates it into a drink. And the packages say made in Israel and it's not. The factory is in stolen Palestinian land. So we've been trying to promote not buying products specifically from London Drugs, or at least telling them why you're unhappy with them, but also a lot of other companies carry products that, well, when you think about it, maybe we don't have a lot of effect. I know writing campaigns and things can really help, but we've got our money, and that's what business listens to. So the whole question of boycotting is pretty important. People my age, people some of our ages, would remember the lettuce boycotts from California a long time ago, and the wine boycotts and everything else from South Africa. I spent 7 years in Zimbabwe and talked to some South Africans about that question. Do you think boycotts are a good idea, or do they hurt the people who are making those products? And they all said, please boycott, because the only thing that will make a difference is when enough people get tired of being the pariah of the world. And that's certainly what happened with South Africa. Mm-hmm. They just got tired of it. So this is us all about trying to use your economic influence. It's called hidden in the bottom line.
If your vote don't count for me, stick a monkey wrench in big machines. Our design refined and well defined. Just to hit them in the bottom. Hit them in the bottom line.
Hit them in the bottom line. Our design refined, well defined, is to hit them in the bottom line.
Oh, the owners seem all powerful and the watchdogs on the take. If you're single, homeless, working poor, what difference can you make? International vigorously, and soon you'll see how your dollar votes for you.
If you vote no
Count for beans,
stick a monkey wrench in the big machine.
I'll swine you wine for all things I will.
Heaven in the bottom line. Heaven in the bottom line. Heaven in the bottom line. I'll swine you wine for all things I will. Heaven in the bottom line. Hit him in the bottom line. Hit him in the bottom line.
I'll swine you wine for all things I will. Hit him in the bottom.
Hit him in the bottom. Hit him in the bottom line. Now, one of the
I
things
feel like
that's-
somebody hit me with a flower.
I thought of it. One of the things that Terry's poem about the Sahara Way,
The Sahara Way,
talking about dependence on families and inherited knowledge, and that whole body of knowledge and spirit and support that can carry people through good times and bad times, and is such a loss, not just to the community, but to the world as a whole, when you have tragedies that break people apart and kill off communities. This is a song by Cy Khan, who's a musician and writer and activist, union activist and social activist in the Appalachia areas of the United States. Done lots of wonderful songs. It's called Gone, Gonna Rise Again. Just about a farm family. I remember the day that my granddaddy died. Gone, gonna rise again. Dug his grave on a mountainside. Gone, gonna rise again. Yes, he knew he'd never see red fruit hanging on the tree. But he planted the seeds for his children and me. Gone, gonna rise again. There's corn in the crib and apples in the bin. Gone, gonna rise again. Ham in the smokehouse, ham in the gin. Gone, gonna rise again. Cows in the field and pigs in the lot. You guys know? No, I lost that. Cows in the field and pigs in the lot. You know you never had a lot. But he worked like the devil for the little he got. Gone, gonna rise again. These apple trees on the mountainside. Gone, gonna rise again. He planted the seeds before he died. Gone, gonna rise again. Was too young to understand the way he felt about the land. But I could read his history in his hands. Gone, gonna rise again. High on the hill above the farm. Gone, gonna rise again. I think of my people who have gone on. Gone, gonna rise again. Like a tree that grows in the mountain ground. Storms of life have come down. But the new wood springs from the roots underground. Gone, gonna rise again. Gone, gonna rise again. Gone, gonna rise again.
Every sailor told of his adventure road back in the days when Pontovia and Zapata rode.
South of the border, how the times have changed. Maquiladora glance along the Rio Grande, and the song they sing is just a money thing that will leave you in the morning without anything. For your lover's just a ringo from a foreign land. He'll promise you like he promised me, and when he's done he'll leave you like a one-night stand. See how he's treated me.
South of the border, like the peso shines, the flowers come to bloom beside the Rio Grande. To find a job that pays below a living wage, they will wither in the morning,
Or they come of age. South of the border, like the love canal, Maquiladora plants pollute the Rio Grande, for their only care is for the profits there. You will soon be like their other lovers everywhere, for your lover's just a gringo from a foreign land. They promise you like he promised me, and when he's done he'll leave you like a one-night stand. See how he's treated me. Yes, your lover's just a gringo from a foreign land. He'll promise you like he promised me, and when he's done he'll leave you like a one-night stand. See how he's treated me.
About specific people or for specific people. And I'm going to start with one called An Afternoon in March, which is the poem that I read a couple of months here at the celebration of the life of our very dear friend Gudrun Doherty. And it's a poem that makes me think of Gudrun every time now that I read it. And so this is for Gudrun. An Afternoon in March. Put away the banners, stack up the placards, the demonstration is over. A few hundred hardy souls clumped under umbrellas, it always rains in March. Weary and dejected, we cleave to friends and to home. We dry our socks and jeans, drink hot tea to chase the chill. We wonder if anyone ever cares what effect we have. Do the Saturday shoppers just think, oh, not again, those crazy protesters, why don't they get a life? Some fret that the media ignores us and politicians don't answer letters while bombs rain down their gifts to the world. Somewhere in Asia, Africa, Latin America, a mother gathers tiny fragments of almost weightless legs, arms, and organs. We drink our tea and plan our next event, rain or shine. You mentioned the ongoing actions against the occupation of Palestine by Israel, and the comments that you read earlier by Murad Barghouti is a Palestinian poet who lives in exile in Egypt. And these were the two poems that were his favorites, so I'm going to read these for Murad and give thanks for his very kind words about my poetry. He's a very fine poet himself, and we've heard him read his poetry in London and in Jordan. And the first one is called, O Palestine. Everywhere the pale whispers of olive blossoms. Bulldozers gash the innocent earth. puffs of warm bread and snowy yogurt. Crude coils of razor wire obstruct, endless glasses of mint tea, dragon breath of tear gas, dark sweetness of cool dates, sun and sky absorbed in gray gun steel. A chair waits beside generous roses. Checkpoints in new heat emanate cold fear. Hear laughter, savor loving cheeks. Insistent ambulances hurtle past. O Palestine, your broken skin exhales the steadfast scent of Zatar. O Palestine. And the other one is called Hearts. This is actually one of my favorites because it's Palestinians speaking to some of the Israelis who are in favor of their occupation. You enter my land, break it with your cruel machines. I watch you bring more soldiers to guard your destruction. Trucks arrive, disgorge relentless blocks of concrete, align them like stones in a cemetery. You add your garden of razor wire. Your trees are high electric fences. Your life is steel and cement. Our life greets every dawn. Our trees replanted as fearful children still grow beautiful. Your wall, your brutal gift spans the world. Our cause grows an olive seed in the hearts of good people. Take up a hammer and chisel and break down the wall in your heart. When we were in the Middle East and in Palestine and Jordan, we also went to Lebanon, where many Palestinians have lived as second-class citizens and as refugees, actually going on into the third generation, as we found out when we went to kindergartens, that even their parents weren't born in Palestine, but they know that their home is in Palestine. And we went to kindergartens that were run by the Hassan Kanafani Foundation. And Hassan Kanafani was a Palestinian writer and activist who was driven out of Palestine with his family and ended up in Beirut. He was 36, and at that time he had already written 18 books. And that included books for children, and in particular for his favorite niece, Lamis. And one day, Lamis and her uncle, Hassan, were going to go for a car ride in the country. It was a hot summer's day in Beirut. Summer vibrates from the pavement. Beirut shimmers in the fierce sun. Two friends meet happily, complain about the heat, look forward to school starting soon. One has sore feet, swollen, her shoes are too tight, so they exchange shoes. Laugh as they hop around and support each other while indulgent adults smile at their antics. One goes home nearby in the tight shoes. The other one, now comfortable in white sandals, sun twinkling on brass buckles, dances off to meet her favorite uncle for a drive in the country. Later, after the explosion, investigators find in the car rubble legs severed at the knee, and on the feet, clean white sandals, buckles still gleaming in the light. Hassan Kanafani and his niece Lamis were killed in that car bomb in 1972, and this poem is dedicated to the third person in the poem. My friend who now lives in Jordan, is in her 60s, and she was the one who exchanged shoes with Lamis. And so it still goes on. And there is very little that we could call peace in that part of the world. Coming a little closer to home, we have the pleasure and the joy of being very good friends with a very talented poet, Carol Chambers, who published 5 books of poetry, and was a community activist on Hornby Island, where we live part-time. And as you know, poets rarely can make a living writing poetry, so they do other things. And Carol worked in the post office. And many years ago, I wrote this poem for her, the poet in the post office. She weighs in grams the records of this small community, exchanges smiles for stamps, fills up slots with the weight of worries and limbs of trees, heavy words commanding control, bills, receipts, orders in 2 official languages, urgent cries, love-filled sighs, and complaints in many more. Lines of poems, unwritten, stick in the drawers, phrases tangle in piles of newspapers. Words here can fly or fizzle, discarded or unnoticed. Dreams are misplaced by other urgent needs. Fragile webs of creation cosset her imagination as she tapes a parcel, registers a bill payment, and sympathizes with everyone's troubles. In the fluorescent fog of her domain, her legs ache, standing all day. She adds up the Queen's coin, counts new stamps in endless sheets, dispatches concealed messages of hope and sorrow, views her landscape of cash machines, magazine racks, and drink coolers in the general store. Her head aches from the latest directives of the distant corporation, intended to confound bureaucrats in sterile offices, envy her forest and sea. They demand more counting, recounting, accounting, until she and the other fretted workers howl in frustration, laugh in rebellion, turn out the lights. They leave the documents and numbers to dance with each other. She cycles, cloaked in green grizzle, gripping her rough driveway as cedars bend to guide her home, where she lies to rest beside her lover, her mouth on his ear. She can hear the bees feasting on quince blossoms. Behind her lids, barred owls glide silently through, drop talons of new words for her to sort, to make into something as beautiful as this moment. Carol died in August 1914, and I read this, the last time I read this poem was at her memorial on Hornby Island. Carol was an activist, as most of us are, both globally and locally. And one of the things that she was involved in was the work against the proposed open-pit coal mine, which would be on Vancouver Island, just off Denman Island and Hornby Island. And the Raven Coal Mining Company has proposed, and so far has not received the environmental permission, to dig great, enormous holes in this beautiful part of the world. And in coal mines many years ago, when it was thought that there was a danger of methane gas before there were pumps and fans, they used to send out canaries. And if the canaries died, they knew that the mine was full of methane gas and wasn't safe for people. And in a way, we are canaries. All of us are the people who are the messengers of what might happen if we are not united and determined to make this world a better place. And so we are the canaries in the mine shaft of daily fear, of a suffocating end, that we, the world, even unto the smallest fly, will die snuffed by poison, emanating from crazed leaders, from profit-mad media moguls, from the toxic fumes of lies that pour from laboratories of prevarication, silken words, false images, invisible atoms measured into vessels everywhere, billboards, expert sources, surveys, sale flyers, policy papers from consultants, restructured companies, governments, whole countries. The miasma of conspiracy so powerful that even the air we breathe is threatened. We are the canaries, smelling the methane of death and greed. We go ahead, resolute in our rallies, our meetings, our walks. Our words, our deeds become a chorus bearing witness against prophecy, the deceit of greedy promise. We sing even in dark places, prisons without light. We sing into open skies. We will sing and sing until our frail lungs exhale the truth, that we will enclose the busy, the apathetic, the otherwise occupied with golf courses or cruises or the magic of malls, and those who have no strength and lack bread, and those who hear only bullets and bombs and lack shelter. We will sing until they all hear us, sing until they lift up and join us, sing until we sing the songs together. We will be as a host of golden birds, rising from invisible and deep places. We will banish the fear. We will transform the power of desecration. Our song will restore the earth, and the sun will rise anew to celebrate us on a pure and glistening morning. Thank you.